Just for the record, even though it comes from the bladder and squirting feels similar to peeing, squirt is not pee. Are female ejaculation and squirting the same? Before jumping right into the topic, you need to understand that there are 3 different types of fluids. The first is vaginal lubrication, which comes from, you guessed it, the vagina and Bartholin's glands, 2 small holes at the entrance of the vagina. Then there's female ejaculation, which comes from the skin's glands, also known as the female prostate. And finally, there's squirting. Squirting comes from the urethra, but can sometimes also come from the skin's glands. Let's dig a little deeper now. Female ejaculation is the release of a thick, whitish fluid that's released just before or during orgasm. Female ejaculation always happens when you orgasm, but you might not have seen it before. It's easier to see it when you masturbate, since during partner sex it can go unnoticed if it mixes with other fluids. Don't worry if you still don't see it and don't even feel like you ejaculated. The size of the skin's glands varies from person to person, and the amount of ejaculate released can be so small it's unnoticeable. There's also something called retrograde ejaculation, which is when instead of exiting the vagina, female ejaculate gets pulled up into the vagina with the contractions of the orgasm. Pretty cool, right? Moving on to squirting, it differs from female ejaculation in where it comes from, its composition, and how much you produce. Squirt is a lighter or transparent liquid. This fluid comes from the bladder and exits through the duct of the urethra. But even though it comes from the same place as urine, it's not the same. So it doesn't have the color or smell of normal urine. Squirt is actually composed of glucose, fructose, and a tiny amount of urine. So again, just for the record, even though it comes from the bladder and squirting feels similar to peeing, squirt is not pee. And unlike female ejaculation, it's not necessarily associated with climaxing, as it's not actually an orgasm. Bear in mind that squirting isn't as common as you think, and most people haven't experienced it. Having said that, all women have the ability to squirt. For some, it comes as a complete surprise and happens when they aren't trying to squirt at all. But it's also normal to find you need some practice to do it. If you're interested in experiencing squirting, you can listen to the guided masturbation session, How to Squirt, on the Emjoy app, which talks you through the process step by step. You might need some time and patience, but the process can be just as rewarding as the end result. You can find the link to the guided session in the description below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next one. You can also follow us on social media for tips about sex and sexual well-being. See you next time.